Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome back to the Reality Club. As you can see, I am back in our little studio
Yeah.
now, and we are together, so we're very excited about that. And we're here to recap
Episode 8. Episode 8,
lagged out,
season 4
of
the
the
Traitors.
Traitors USA.
Yes. This was a very highly anticipated episode because last week we left on obviously Lisa getting banished, and we left on the cliffhanger of Colton. Sorry, not Colton. Rob. And
We're not talking about Colton yet.
Not yet. Not yet. Rob and Candiace in the turret, and then the episode ends. We have no idea what's going to happen, but all I do know is that the internet exploded with Team Rob or Team Candiace.
I actually have not been on social media really the past week, so I did not get the pleasure of seeing all of that drama. So that's crazy. I will say that their dynamic together right off the bat actually pissed me off. I don't like I don't know, I don't like how they don't trust each other. I don't like this dynamic right now, and I think the first 5 minutes I was just so frustrated by the two of them together.
I loved it.
Really?
Okay, well, not loved it, but for the TV purpose of it, I loved it. Like, you weren't on social media. I wasn't super on social media, but I was on Instagram a little bit.
Yeah.
And obviously everyone was having theories of what was going to happen because we had no idea were they going to trust each other, were they going to completely turn on each other. Was so many theories on what was going to happen. Was Candiace's move awful with her vote for Rob? Was there going to be a recruitment? There were so many different ideas and theories of things that were going to happen. One that I unfortunately was terrified of, and I'm so happy that I'm wrong, because I was so scared that Candiace was going to go home this episode because of obviously her vote for Rob, and then I was so scared that Rob was going to recruit Colton.
Yeah,
and
you started that theory.
I didn't start that theory, though.
You brought that theory to me, so in my eyes, you started that theory.
It was terrifying.
Yeah, I did not have one single thought about that happening.
Really?
I really did not think that would ever have happened.
You didn't think at not one time that Rob might recruit
I'm
Colton.
still like Rob and Mora.
Okay, well, we'll get to that because you're also wrong with that.
But then it made sense in the sense where I was like, okay, him recruiting a boy makes more sense because only female traitors have gone home now.
Yeah. We'll talk about recruitment a little later, but
so it made sense. Colton, I guess we'll also get to that. But before we get into the episode, I did see actually this morning, and now that I'm actually looking at it, I'm realizing that I don't know if this is true or not, and I believe everything I see on the internet. But apparently, according to The Sun, the Traitors are allegedly putting together an all-star season for season 6. And it's going to have people like Boston Rob, Gabby's going to come back, Dylan, and then Lisa Rinna, Rob, like all these favorites. And Peter.
Peter, oh my gosh.
Pilot Pete. I want to believe this is true because I think it would be iconic to have all the favorites back in a castle together. And I think we didn't see enough of Lisa Rinna.
I think All Stars is a good idea, but I think that's way too soon.
No, it's season 6.
Yeah, that's still way too soon.
No, because we still have to go through a season 5, which
only
you said is
5
be...
seasons, and then we get repeat people. I think an All Star season should start at like season 10.
Okay, relax. How many years is that going to take then? At least 5 more? Absolutely not.
I don't think you can tell who's really an all-star until...
I think it makes full sense. Well, I don't think it's all... I mean, I'm assuming it's more so the fan favorites that makes the most sense because they are a lot of the fan favorites. And some of them went home way quicker than we wanted them to.
That's fair.
So I think in that sense, it would be nice to see those people again, especially Boston Rob. I would love to see Boston Rob again.
I know, Boston Rob when we get to the round table, I'm going to talk about him a little more, but like we're missing that energy.
I know.
We are missing that energy.
I know.
Little baby Rob is doing his game, but he's not a Boston Rob.
No, but Rob is playing a good game. I've said that since day one, and I will stand on that.
Okay, I have some opinions on that. I disagree. I don't disagree that he's playing a good game, but I do have some opinions on how I think he's playing the game. Like we'll get it. Yeah, I guess I can just say it now. I don't think he's playing a bad game, but as we'll talk about different things throughout the episode, just because someone's playing a good game doesn't mean I respect the game he's playing, if that makes sense. Because again, there's so many different parts about this in the episode that we'll allude to, but yeah, there's some moments that I just didn't like. Everyone on the internet too is saying it's just a game, it's just a game, it's just a game, and it is just a game. This is just literally a reality TV show. It's not that serious.
Yeah.
Like, even us talking about our opinions about these people, it's just a TV show.
It's just fun.
It's just fun.
It's fun and games.
It's just, yeah. But there's parts where later that we'll talk about where I just didn't respect it. I don't think you can always just say it's just a game when you make a move and then talk to other people like when they make a move being like, calm down, it's just a game. I don't think that's fair.
I guess, but I do think if this, and I hate to say this, but I do think if it was a girl doing all these things that Rob was doing, people wouldn't be hating on her as much as they're hating on Rob.
I think it's the opposite. Oh my God, Lauren.
You think so?
Oh my gosh. If a woman, like, for example, Danielle last season, don't get me wrong, there were so many things that she did that were annoying, but like anytime that she did a game move last year, people hated on her.
Okay, Danielle sucked. She
But
was
why?
crazy. She was crazy. Do you remember when she was crying and freaking out at the round table when frickin' Brittany went home?
I know, but I think
the most dramatic traitor ever.
Okay, so if we're going to be on the topic of like switching roles of Rob and a woman, if a woman was playing the game that, like, let's say Candiace was Rob and Rob was like Traitors with Colton or something.
Yeah.
And Candiace started going for Colton, like Rob went for Lisa, and then Rob reacted the way that Candiace is reacting, and Candiace was in Rob's shoes. Would you be like, Team Candiace, she's the best player I've ever seen? Or what do you think it'd be different?
I'm just seeing it as if it were one of the housewives in Rob's position and she was the one taking out all these, I don't want to say just male traitors, because it's not just that it was all the female traitors he took out, but like that's kind of what happened. But I just think if it was Candiace and she was with 3 male traitors and she started taking them out one by one, we would have been like, holy heck, what a queen. This is awesome to see.
See, I don't agree with that.
I do. I do think that that would be really cool to see, and
I
we would be more.
I think
or maybe I would be on
me
board.
and you would feel that way. I think you're right in the sense that I would be like, yes, queen. I'd be so on board. However, I fear the general consensus would be bullying and would be judging.
If the girl was doing it?
100%. And I think that's sad. I think for sure, like, I would have been like, I still love Candiace in this. Like, I love her the way that she's playing. Honestly, it's a game. I just love how everyone's playing. It's a game. But it's interesting that you say that, because I think a woman would be getting way more heat than Rob is. Rob is not even getting heat.
Not on the show, but in real life,
he's not.
Is.
I think we're on different sides of the internet.
We are, because everything that I've seen since maybe week 2 are people pissed at Rob.
See, I'm seeing every single comment section
and that's
I open,
what I'm not understanding.
Every single comment section I open is people being like, Rob is the greatest player to ever play the game.
And that's how I feel. That's why I'm so confused. See, we are on very different sides of the internet, I guess.
Which is funny, because we're also on very different sides of who we are rooting for.
Yeah. I know, we're literally seeing the opposite. Okay.
But also, that's the fun of the game. That's the fun of the game.
Okay, no, obviously everyone's going to have their own opinions and perspectives on what's happening. I love how we have different ones.
Exactly. Because let's remind each other it's a TV show. We can like get heated and like have fun little arguments, but at the end of the day, it's a TV show. So just remember that.
It's not that serious.
It's not. But anyway, let's get into the turret then, because obviously we see Rob and Candiace. That's where we left off last episode. Yeah. And it is so awkward.
Yes.
It is so tense.
Yeah. No, right off the bat, this is what I was saying before. I am pissed at their dynamic. I'm pissed that it's literally episode 8. I guess we're more than halfway done though. And we're already seeing 2 traitors like you could tell right off the bat that things were not going to end well this episode.
Well, obviously not. We had Candiace vote for Rob and Rob go for Lisa. So obviously this turret was going to be, I had no idea what to expect. I was like, are they going to make up? What are they going to do? What I didn't expect was them to have the chance to recruit somebody. That one really threw me off. I knew that a recruitment would come in the next couple episodes, but I had no idea that they would give them the option together.
Yeah.
Were you expecting that?
No, because I feel like when we talked about it, we would say if there was one of them left, then there would be a recruitment, which makes sense. But I was not expecting that for the two of them. Do you think it would have been good gameplay to recruit in that moment? Do you think that would have saved Candiace?
I don't know if it would have saved her. I think, unfortunately, I think with her vote for Rob, she definitely put suspicion on her, which I didn't, again, I didn't agree with it being a good gameplay last week. I did think it was great TV. Her voting for Rob last week, so entertaining.
It was iconic.
But bad move on her part. But
you know what? I don't necessarily think it was bad for her throwing away her vote at Rob. I think it was bad how she maneuvered her gameplay after that.
Honestly, I don't necessarily think it's her gameplay after. I think it was the way that she threw the vote for Rob. Well, I think if she would have, when she voted for Rob last week, if she would have said something along the lines of, hey, honestly, came in here because the consensus was supposed to be Natalie. I don't think it's Lisa. That's my housewife friend. But this is someone I have been suspicious of. If she would have worded it in a way of how about we actually look in a different direction for once? I've been voting for Ron this whole time, and you know what? If you guys are gonna start throwing out names, I'm gonna start throwing out my suspicious name and say Rob. And if she would have just doubled down on the fact that I'm voting for Rob because I think he's suspicious, and not just oh, it's a throwaway vote. I think her saying throwaway vote really
that dug her grave.
I don't think it dug her grave. I think it was the first
It dug her grave in the sense that she said she had a throwaway vote and then completely turned on that when the eyes were on her, and then said, oh, I'm suspicious of him. And that was even seen. A couple people called that out. Once again, we're jumping ahead. But people called that out. They're like, you said this was a throwaway vote and now you're suspicious of this person.
I don't think, but going back to the recruitment, I think it could have been, I don't think it really would have helped Candiace this episode, unfortunately. Actually, you know what? It might have. The reason I say that is not necessarily that someone coming in would have saved her, but if they would have recruited instead of murdering, I think she would have had at least a chance this week. Because as we see, obviously Colton gets murdered, which we'll talk about the breakfast, but if Colton didn't get murdered, she would have been 10 times less suspicious this episode. I'm not saying she wouldn't have any suspicion on her. Obviously, that throwaway vote still had people thinking, but I don't think that dug her grave. I think it started the suspicion, and what dug her grave was Colton getting murdered and Rob not sharing the info that Colton was throwing her name around the night before, or that night.
I agree.
Yes, it would have maybe saved her a week or two if they recruited, because there wouldn't have been all this compiling evidence that she's a traitor with Colton still around. Because as we see at breakfast, people were super suspicious of Colton again. They were like, it's Colton. They're back on the Colton train. So, but I mean, I guess with that, we can talk about the fact they didn't obviously recruit and they had to make a decision on who to murder. So what do you think about the murder? I have some thoughts, but
on who was murdered?
Yeah, what do you think of, I guess even just the way that Rob let her choose.
Once again, I hate to say it, but they both didn't trust each other, and we saw that immediately when they were in the turret. If Rob gave her that information, that would have been an upper hand for her to have. So him keeping that and withholding it did give him a bit of an upper hand out of their relationship. And she said, they both said they don't trust each other. So we knew that they weren't going to be 100% honest. So I think what Rob did and allowed her to send Colton home, I was still shocked when Rob was like, Colton's my buddy, I'm not sending him home. I was not expecting Colton to go home one bit. So I think that, once again, this was good gameplay for Rob. Because I thought keeping Colton around would have been better, because it would have pushed him to, I guess, push that narrative that Candiace was a traitor. But he really didn't need to keep Colton to do that. Like, killing Colton really just did that on its own.
I don't disagree that it was good gameplay. What this really showed me, though, is Rob, like, last episode, obviously going up into last episode, I was honestly team Traitor. I liked all the Traitors. I thought Rob was playing a good game. I thought everyone up until last episode, like, I was just team Traitor.
Yeah.
Rob threw me for a loop a little bit last episode because I just can't get the vision of him and Colton running up the hill together being like bromancy. And so I was like, Rob's showing a little bit more of his loyalty right now. Like, and that's fair. Like, if he wants to play the game of I'm not going to be loyal to my traitors, I'm going to be loyal to my faithfuls, that's his decision. He can be loyal to whoever he wants. But this episode showed me he's not loyal to anybody.
No.
He's literally has no issue picking himself.
You can't be loyal to anyone, though. The only person he could have 100% stayed loyal to, and should have, obviously, was his traitor buddy. But she threw his name out there for no reason.
No, this is the thing. I'm not saying you have to be loyal to anybody in the game. And, like, yes, it is a game. But I'm just saying that it's a game, and I do think a game can show you a lot about a person. I'm not saying Rob's a bad person. Don't get me wrong. Don't come for me. I'm just saying someone hurt Rob because I need to know the backstory on this man because he has no freaking issue. He literally in 24 hours, he turned on both his traitors and got rid of his strongest ally. So I'm curious as to like, because the thing is, I'm not saying it's bad or good or whatever. I'm just saying I couldn't play like that because that's just like my personality and like who I am. Like, I think I would struggle to play like that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's bad or like whatever. It's interesting. I'm just saying it's interesting.
I understand that.
Yeah,
I think it's hard when you're a traitor. It is a little bit every man for himself. Whereas when you're a faithful, it's easy to stay loyal to other faithfuls or people you believe are faithfuls.
Yeah.
Whereas as a traitor, we've seen in almost every single season that most of the time there is a traitor on traitor fight at the round table. Totally. Or traitors throwing other traitors under the bus.
Yeah.
So you really can't trust anyone when you are a traitor. And that
totally
sucks.
I agree.
But I do think that Ron going home, Colton going home, people who are Rob's allies are now leaving. So I don't know. I really don't think that people are going to suspect Rob. I think the only reason people would is because Candiace said his name. Actually, one thing I do want to say about this whole season is that, Alicia, the only reason that traitors have gone home is because of other traitors speaking their name to other people. Mm-hmm. There hasn't been one faithful correctly identify a traitor on their own.
Colton.
He doesn't count. He doesn't count. He also threw out so many names, though. Like, when you're naming 10 people, obviously one of them's got to be a traitor when you're just guessing.
No, okay, so because you say that, though, this is why, again, I'm not saying, just to be clear, I don't think Rob voting Lisa was a bad game move. Like, it is a good game move. All I was saying is it wasn't quite necessary yet. People are saying last episode he had to do it. He had to do it. I'm not saying he shouldn't have. Like, it was a good game move. He did pick himself over all of them in that moment, and that's a good move to win.
Yeah.
I'm just saying he didn't have to. I think he still would have been totally fine if he didn't. He was the one that really started, like, everyone being like they would have turned on him. This is just people. I don't believe that. I think traitors will always turn on each other.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think they would have done it unless they had to either, though. I think that's where that value difference that, like, Candiace kind of brought up a little bit differently or later is like, I don't think that they would have not turned on him. I just don't think they would have unless they had to. And I feel like he didn't have to yet. It wasn't a bad move, but I don't think he had to yet. He started that quicker than I think necessary. That's my, and I'm not saying Lisa wasn't suspicious. She was. But
Lisa was so suspicious.
She was suspicious. And he easily could have, like, I'm not saying he shouldn't have voted for her, but it was more the ringleader of Team Lisa than it was the vote, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the end of the day, I guess it did bring him trust with the faithfuls. Like, I can't deny that.
And once again, that's gonna help his gameplay. Like, I hate to say, like, it is just a game, and these people are there. Like, a lot of them are there, like, it seems like, to socialize, like, to be, like, make friendships, whatever.
Dorinda.
Yeah. But that's actually really funny. I literally wrote down, Dorinda walked into breakfast, and I actually completely forgot that she was still around.
Okay, let's go to breakfast.
So yeah, Dorinda walked in. I forgot she was around, but she actually had a lot of camera time this episode.
Well, you know why? Because...
Okay, no, I literally wrote this. I understand Colton going home, and not just Colton. I think it's just all those big personalities have been leaving, like Michael, Lisa, Colton, and we're now seeing so much more screen time from everyone else. Like, this episode was actually noticeably different in that sense.
Very.
That we got to see all these people talking for the first time.
Yep.
And you called that last episode.
I did.
So I did see that.
Last episode, I was saying Colton needs to go because he is unfortunately stealing the screen time. Because production is always going to pick the craziest, even if it's annoying,
the most controversial
things to show because they want to produce a good TV show. And I'm not saying that the other people aren't good TV, but I personally, like, this episode for me was my favorite so far because it was a little bit dialed back in, like, the, I don't know, just unnecessary drama. Like, there was drama, there was tension, there was conflict, but it wasn't, like, so blown up. There was so many different, like, layers to the episode.
It felt like there was more discussion too.
There's more discussion we got to see, and I mean, it could just be a result of the fact that obviously there's less people, so we do get to see just more people talk. Like Steven, I think that's the first, like, interview we've gotten from him.
Yeah.
But anyway, breakfast. I was not expecting Colton to not walk in. I was gonna be shocked if Colton didn't walk in.
I was shocked. My jaw was actually on the floor. I
screamed.
I did not see that coming one bit. Especially, like, all the theories that we kept making. You saying, like, Colton might get recruited by Rob. I'm thinking Colton's making it right to the end.
Yeah, I was scared. No,
boy didn't even make it through the 8th episode.
Honestly, like, the thing with Candiace, like, obviously she had that choice, and yes, Rob didn't, like, share the info that her name was getting brought up by Colton, but, like, regardless, I think Candiace knew she wasn't making it to the end. Like, I don't think she even really cared that much.
Yeah.
She was kind of just there for the plot, and I love that about her because she was like, you know what? I don't even care. I'm just gonna get rid of Colton because that sucks for you, Rob. And, like, yes, not good strategy. I'm not saying it is. TV, amazing. Like, thank you for doing the hard work in this house.
No, it's true. And I feel bad because I have been saying that Candiace was a very boring traitor all along, but everything I saw from Candiace last night, I wish she was still around. I wish she did stay in longer.
Yeah.
So it sucked that, like, right near the end, I don't know. I feel like she was speaking up more and trying, but I also knew it kind of seemed like it was going to be her or Rob. But at the same time, I feel like everyone's so whipped by Rob that, like, they'll believe everything he says. And if he's thinking it's Candiace, then, oh my God, it's gotta be Candiace.
The thing is, really so yeah, Colton doesn't walk into breakfast, which honestly, I've never been happier for someone to be murdered. I'm so sorry. But just, like, the game got so much better already without him there.
Big dynamic change.
Big dynamic shift. But strategically, not a great move for Candiace. Even if, for example, Colton wasn't throwing her name around, and, like, even if she knew, or even if that didn't happen and she murdered Colton, it wasn't really a great move for her in the sense that Colton was a suspect, right? Like, getting rid of anyone that's been has heat at the round table is not a good move. And so, do I think it was an emotional decision? Potentially. Do I think I love it anyway? Yes.
I don't even think I remembered hearing a single person, like, bring up the fact that, I guess some people said, like, Colton said Candiace's name.
Yeah.
But, like, I felt like that wasn't, like, what set it over the edge. It was the fact that she put Rob's name down.
I think the opposite. I think it was her writing Rob was like maybe it's Candiace, and then Colton getting murdered when he was saying her name last night, I think was like, it was like, okay, yeah, the dagger.
Her going back to the round table and saying that she's suspicious of Rob after saying it was a throwaway, that's what was the dagger.
We'll get to the round table, but let's talk about the challenge for a little bit. Because this the type of challenge that I've like been waiting for. One that is just like funny, lighthearted. We get to see like a group dynamic. So we got to see them. It's kind of like the doll game where the groups are split apart. Someone is off somewhere and there's people at the house that have to give clues. And a few things about this challenge. I just thought it was so much fun that we got to like see people. We got to get to know people. Like everyone is funny. And
Alicia, I was laughing so hard during this challenge.
This is why I've been saying we've been lacking challenges because
this was a good one.
The challenges this year have been so like boring and useless. Whereas like this is what I usually love about the show. It's like there's all this tension, but then you get this little break in the middle that is like funny, and you get to see the side of people just playing a fun game. It's not so serious all the time.
Yep.
And so like it was hilarious. I think it's funny that they sent the 3 chillest people in the whole castle to find the photos. Because it was Mark, Kristen, and...
I thought that was kind of weird that they sent the 3 of them. Out of all people, they sent those 3. Because they're the most faithful, or besides Rob, but like I would say Mark and Kristen are like 2 very faithfuls, and maybe that's why it's like you need a shield, or like you need a shield if you are like that. But them agreeing to send Rob, like all Rob said was, "I think I'm gonna get killed, and I'm worried about getting killed." And they're like, "Okay, yeah, you go, Rob.
I know,
you go get that shield."
And I mean, like obviously we'll talk about it a little later, but poor Johnny, because Candiace suggesting Johnny going. Not looking good for him there, but anyway, they send
side note about Johnny, I'm so glad we're seeing more of him and Tara.
I know.
I think they have the cutest little friendship, and I wish we were able to see that more, but I know they're trying to keep it a little under the radar. But I felt like we were able to see a little bit more of their friendship this episode.
It's funny too, like kind of sidetracked to that, but them trying to like hide their relationship, I get it, but also it's not that weird if you just said, "Oh yeah, we know each other in the skating world." Like the gamers kind of know each other, the housewives kind of know each other. Yeah, I don't think
it's gonna benefit them one bit. I really don't think it's gonna change anything. But it's funny when they go into that, they're like, "Who do you think it is?" And they're like, "I don't know."
Also, like, Tara just having no idea.
Yeah.
My mom, I asked her who her favorite was, and she said the figure skater Tara.
Oh.
I'm like, why? We haven't even seen anything.
I was gonna say I don't think she's had like one little interview or one. You really don't see much of her. Mm-hmm. But this was an episode where you did get to see a bit more.
Yeah.
But I'm still not. I feel like I need to get to know her a little more.
Yeah. But yeah, we have Rob, Kristen, and Mark guessing the paintings. Which was giving me anxiety how calm they were. They would like look at the photo and they're like, They're just like slowly perusing like through the art gallery, like they're just on vacation. No one is rushing. No one has any pep.
No sense of urgency at
all.
No
sense of urgency. I'm like, I would be running around that place.
Well, I guess you think like, oh, we have an hour to do this. Like that's so much time.
Also, do you think that the team was it? I think who was it? Steven, Eric, Candiace, and who else was on their team?
Steven?
Johnny?
No.
Yeah, it was Johnny.
Yeah, because all the girls were on the other team.
Do you think that they sent good photos, or do you think that Kristen and Rob are...
I actually think they were just being dumb. Like, I think their photos were actually pretty good.
So good.
I was impressed.
Cow?
Yeah.
Literally, he's in the cow colors.
No, I know. They were being... It was so funny because the girls would take their photos, instantly they'd find them, they'd be easy peasy, and then the second the other group did, they're like, maybe it's this one, I don't know, and then they put up the most, like, the paintings that don't look anything like it. I'm like, who is in charge here? Who's thinking this?
I know, that was funny. But yeah, the challenge, I love to see a little funny, goofy challenge. That's what we needed. That's what we've been missing.
Yeah, it's nice when it's not super serious. And even like finding the shield, like when Kristen found it, they were like, awesome. Like they didn't say like, oh my god, like they were just like, good for you, Kristen, you found it. Like,
yeah.
Whereas like usually there's like fighting for shields. So I thought that was really chill. Obviously Rob didn't care to get it, but
well, obviously.
And Mark is just like, I feel like Mark's just, him and Kristen seem like they have like a really good partnership.
Yeah, definitely Mark and Kristen. And like this is the one thing is this episode I was trying to like figure out the dynamics of the group. Like because we haven't really been seeing a lot of these other characters yet, like we don't really know who's buddy, who's together fully. I mean, it does seem like Rob is the faithful king.
Yep.
To I think everybody but unfortunately maybe Johnny. And maybe Tara. I don't know. See, that's the thing is, even at the round table, like, we saw a little bit of mistrust between Tara and Natalie, and like, it's interesting because
that was so random.
The thing is, it's not that it's not. The thing is, it's not random. We just haven't seen anything yet. Like, we don't know the dynamics between everybody yet because we haven't. All we've been seeing is Colton. Forever, like all we've seen is Colton.
I just still don't understand why people think Natalie's a traitor. I understand, like, out of all the faithfuls, like, maybe she, like, realistically, like, in that group now, like, yeah, who could be a traitor? Like, they're probably really struggling in there. I don't even know who would be if it wasn't Rob. Like, so part of me thinks, like, okay, maybe Natalie is an easy target, but then on the other hand, I'm like, she's literally done nothing for people to even think this. They're just, like, making stuff up or trying to, like, make something bigger out of little things because they have nothing right now.
I mean, to be fair, though, like, what do you really have to go on? There's really not much besides people saying, I'm not a traitor. Like, you really are.
Or it's, oh, you voted for this person, so you must be a traitor.
Yeah, because they have probably not much to... Right, if everyone's walking around saying, who's the traitor, I'm not a traitor, then you really kind of have to just pick at anything.
I know.
And that's why obviously that vote for Rob was like an easy thing for people to be like, oh, difference in something out of pattern, right? Because they keep saying Candiace was like very consistent. Candiace was really consistent, and that was something that they...
I know, I was actually surprised someone brought that up, but I guess it was something that was obvious to them too.
Yeah. But anyway, kind of the talk before the round table, lots of people are suspicious of Candiace. And Johnny warns Candiace that, like, people are saying her name. And it's so interesting, like, watching her. It was her and Steven. They were talking in the room. And she's confronting Steven about, like, people saying that she said Colton's name or whatever. And she's trying to be like, well, who brought up Colton's name? Blah, 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 all these things. Trying to kind of pin it back on Rob. Realizing that, like, Rob did not tell her that information. Like, I truthfully think, I don't think they would have ever had like super trust together, but I do think Candiace would not have gone for Rob right away if he would have been truthful to her about Colton. I think that. I don't necessarily think they would have made it together happily ever after till the end, but I don't think, like, I think she would have been willing to give him like some trust.
Yeah.
But the minute that she found out that he withheld that information from her, it was done. So anyway, we get that conversation between them in the library. It's between Rob and Candiace and...
No. Well, first it's
Steven and Candiace.
Yeah. Then Rob comes in and asks if he can talk to Candiace alone. Mm-hmm. And I don't know why, Alicia, but this conversation gave me so much anxiety.
They were just talking about murdering and in the middle of the room.
Well, the thing is that if anyone else is sitting 2-on-2 together hanging out, you suspect nothing of it. But when it's those two, I was like, oh my god, people are gonna know. They're gonna know. Like, this is so obvious. They're together. Oh my gosh. But no, it's probably so common for people just to be sitting together, like two people. Like, I don't know. So that made me anxious because I'm like, people are obviously walking by and being like, oh my god, Rob and Candiace are talking. Like, what's happening? So...
Or, like, maybe there's no one around. But I am interested to see, like... Obviously, Steven is going to get heat coming in the next few episodes because there was a little bit of that teased today last night in the episode. But do you think, let's say Steven starts getting heat, right? Because like he already kind of did a little bit at the round table. Do you think he is smart enough to pick up on that exchange being like, well, Rob and Candiace really wanted to talk alone last night, or yes, like, you know, because they were like, can you please leave, Steven? Do you think that was like just something that happens a lot in the house, or do you think he might be like, interesting that Candiace was going after Rob so hard and they were chatting last night or together privately? Do you know what I mean?
I've been underestimating Steven, and I really, really hope that if he is being thrown under, he kind of does, I guess, bring that up, or does I don't know, but I really don't think he is. I kind of think he's a bit oblivious in like the best way possible.
Yeah.
I don't know if that would be something, but maybe it would if he's desperate enough.
Yeah. It's hard to say because we don't know enough about him yet. And in episode 8.
Yeah.
But anyway.
But I do think that he is a very obvious target right now because once again, we've already lost 3 female traitors. Mm-hmm. So logically, I guess it would make sense that one would be a guy. I guess there could be 4 traitors that are girls, like that'd be cool, but no, they're all their mindset is that it's got to be a guy. I'm assuming because they have kind of brought that up.
What do you?
Who else could it be?
Well,
Mark.
Obviously, Johnny is going to be the next target. But anyway, I want to still talk about this conversation between.
Do you think Tara would ever turn on Johnny?
No.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. But okay, I want to talk about the conversation between Rob and Candiace though, because this is like the convo that didn't sit super right with me in my opinion.
When they were eating?
When they were like in the library together. Yeah. And Candiace like brings up to Rob, when did you know this information? Like when did you know that people were saying my name?
And he said this morning, right?
And he said, so he lies to Candiace, obviously, saying this morning, right? And I think her being upset is so justifiable. Like, this is what kind of bothers me about Rob a little. I'm not saying, again, if the way he wants to play the game he might win the game the way he's playing, fine. Yeah. But that doesn't necessarily mean I agree with the way he plays or the way he acts about it, maybe I should say. Because he keeps saying, like, Candiace feeling upset or hurt or, like, betrayed or backstabbed by him, if she feels that way, he keeps saying, it's a game, Candiace. It's a game. And I'm like, yes, it is a game, but also people are allowed to feel betrayed in a game. People are allowed to feel like...
But it is a game of betrayal.
I know, but you're allowed to feel that way.
You're allowed to feel, but for sure.
The thing is, that's what bothers me. I'm not saying that, like, it is a game of betrayal, but that doesn't mean you're not allowed to feel betrayed.
Yeah.
And, like, Candiace feels betrayed. She feels like the trust was broken. She feels upset about it because in the game, like, technically the traitors are supposed to work together as long as they can. Like, you don't have to, obviously you can go against a traitor if you need to, but I think her feeling like she's mad at him for this, he really did cause this to blow up faster than it needed to, I think. I don't think, like, their trust dynamic, I think their trust dynamic was broken by him. And she's upset about that, and he keeps saying, it's just a game, don't take it personally. That would make me so angry, because as someone who, like, I have emotions, I have feelings, and I just hate when people come to somebody and, like, invalidate their feeling because of it's a game. It's just the way it is. It's a game. Like, that kind of bothers me a little. That's why I'm not saying he's playing bad, and it is a game, but she's also allowed to feel betrayed. To disregard that completely and just be like, it's a game, Candiace, calm down. That bothers me. That, like, attitude bothers me.
I guess that's fair. I think it's obviously people play differently, and I do think that women play with more emotion in it.
Lord.
No, I don't mean that in a bad way.
Oh my god, you're so funny. Okay.
I don't mean that in a bad way at all.
Yeah, but that is such a stereotype that you just said.
I didn't mean it like that.
But just think about it for a second.
I'm just comparing to all the other, I guess, females and guys we've seen on these seasons. I feel like there is more emotion attached.
Okay, think about Rob and Bob the drag queen going at it at the round table. You don't think that was emotional?
Boston Robin, I guess so.
Sorry.
Well, was that emotional, or was that just like a heated discussion?
Okay, but why are you saying it? Are you saying it's just a heated discussion because they're men? Like, why is anger is an emotion?
Yeah, I guess it can be.
Okay,
maybe we just haven't seen much emotion from the men on this season.
Yeah, I'm just trying to, make you critical think on some things.
If I was on this game, I'm an emotional person. So
Colton was playing emotionally.
Yes, I would be playing emotionally. So I do understand that some people do, but I also see a lot of people don't play it with their emotions. And okay, that can be females and males. Like, I guess I won't bring gender into it. Like, I've just been seeing maybe more females who play with emotion as opposed to females playing like this is just a game. I don't like.
I think the thing with you saying that though, and like I just think we've been conditioned to see emotions from like anger or like men being upset, it's like we're like, that's not emotional, that's just them being upset.
Yeah.
Whereas like I feel like we've been conditioned to see like any move that seems emotional by a woman is like they're playing with emotions. And so I just like I don't necessarily like, I don't know, maybe I don't agree in the sense that I think sometimes we view it that way because of our bias.
I haven't thought once about the emotions of anyone on this show.
Yeah, neither have I.
Like at all. It's just when we sit and talk about it where I'm like, okay, yes, like what am I seeing? How, like, what am I feeling with these people? But
also emotions are part of the game. Like I think it's not, I don't think we can say it's just a game, you can't have emotion. I think that's like, everyone can play a game no matter how they want to play it. Like if you want to have emotion in a game, that's okay. I hate that it's very much looked at right now as like, you can't have feelings, it's a game. Like, no, people are allowed to feel upset even if it is a game. Even if it is a game, you can still feel upset.
I think though, because it's a game, sometimes, or the people who take the emotions out of it last a little longer.
Yeah, and that's how life is. That's how life is,
exactly.
Right? Like, people who take a lot of emotions out of things usually succeed.
Yeah, so I'm not trying to stick up for Rob. I'm just saying that because he isn't putting emotion into it, I think that's why he has lasted as long as he has. And he has kind of gained the alliances and relationship that he has during it. Whereas people who are playing with their emotions, it's harder to obviously fight for themselves at the round tables. It's harder for them to, I guess, I don't know. Like,
no, and that's the thing is, you're not wrong. Like, I don't disagree with you. Like, and I'm just saying is like, for me, like, I am a little bit more of an emotional person. Clearly, I'm I'm getting worked up about this. But like, that's I think just in like, I've heard, and again, it's just a game, but I think it's a representation of like even just what life is a lot of times. People are like, you can't. It's just this. Like, why are you taking it personally? Why are you doing this? It's just this. It's just, I hate that as like an emotion, growing up as like an emotional person, people being like, calm down, it's just this, or like, I'm like, that's so invalidating. Like, people are allowed to have feelings. People are allowed to feel upset, happy, whatever it is. Yeah. And even in like other seasons, for example, like people, there's always going to be betrayal. Like, I'm not saying there's not going to be betrayal. Like, there's been traitors who've won and like their loyal faithfuls feel betrayed at the end. And that's just the way it is. Like, and to say that you can't feel upset at all, it's like, it probably messes with people's brain in there. Everyone's lying to each other. And so to say like, you can't have, I don't know. I think that's what sat wrong with me a little bit. I'm not saying, like, don't get me wrong. Colton, oh my God, I literally think Rob and Colton are the same person. This is awful. Okay. Rob, I think.
Take that back.
Okay, but like, in terms of like the game, Rob, I do think he's playing a good game. He's strategic. Everything he's done is setting him up well, but that doesn't necessarily mean I have to like it. Like, I don't have to be like, I like the way you're playing, because I am a little bit more emotional. So like, it's harder for me to put myself in Rob's shoes, because I'm like, damn, you really just are cutthroat. Like, you're just taking people off one by one, and that's fine. You're going to win. And like, I can respect it, but it doesn't mean I have to be like obsessed with the way he's playing.
That's fair. Yeah. I guess I just didn't see him and Candiace's conversation about that. I didn't see it as him belittling her or like putting down her for feeling a certain way.
See,
I must have just gone right over my head. Like, I wasn't seeing it like that.
That's fair.
And there's probably a lot of times where I am watching where I am missing like the emotion in it, because to me, I know they're real people, but to me this is just a game and it's just a show. So sometimes I forget that these are real people with real emotions and that they're not just on here playing like this.
And honestly, I'm not even saying that. I'm not trying to say like, oh my gosh, Rob was being this bad person. I'm literally looking at it as a game context. Yeah. I'm looking at it like, I don't, like, Candiace is allowed to play this game however she wants. That's what I'm saying. Like, if she wants to be emotional about it and like blow up the game, like, that's fine. That's the way she's playing the game. There's no wrong way. Yeah. Like, maybe that she doesn't win, but like, who cares if she's playing it emotionally? It's like, if she wants to play the game emotionally, play the game emotionally. Like, it's TV. It's like, it's just, but I think for me, it was more like him being like, oh, she said, if you are bringing up my name at the round table, like, I'm bringing you up, essentially. And he was like, well, that's bad sportsmanship. And I'm like, Rob, you can't say that. You've literally just been like,
just throwing everyone under the bus.
You've been throwing everyone. Okay, that's, you know what I'm trying to say here.
I do.
Don't come for me. I'm not saying Rob's playing a bad game. I'm just saying,
no. And don't come for me over gender roles, okay? That. was very unintentional of me to, I'm sorry. But no, I don't know.
No, I think, okay, on that topic though, I think I think about it a lot, and like I don't think it's wrong though. It's just, that's the whole point though, is to like have reflection on a situation and be like, think about it. Like,
Yeah.
maybe it's not that, but also I think sometimes it's so easy for us to like have our blinders of what we think our brains work, so it's good to have discussions about it. It's not a bad thing.
Yeah, you're right.
So don't like,
You're right. No, you're opening my eyes to things that I wasn't seeing before or noticing.
and it might not even be that way.
Yeah,
I'm just
so I
saying
do
it's good
appreciate
to
that.
like look at things from all perspectives is
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
No, I agree.
That's the point here, guys.
We're not fighting, okay? No, that it all makes sense. It does. And I mean, I guess we'll see if Rob's gameplay, what it does for him. I mean, who knows? He could go home next week or he could make it till the end. Like, we obviously don't know what's going to happen. I genuinely have no idea how this could play out at this point. So
I want to talk about the round table because we haven't even talked about that yet.
I don't even remember.
So the round table, we go in, obviously Candiace and Rob, no trust, duh. Which again, entertaining. But so Johnny starts the round table and he brings up Steven. That's his like, because he trusts Candiace.
Yep.
Poor guy.
Innocence.
I'm so sorry. The faithfuls the loyal faithfuls who trust the wrong people. But anyway, he brings up Steven, and Dorinda makes her first kind of decent point of the whole season, saying that Lisa gave Steven her gold.
Yeah, actually, yes, that one actually even turned me onto Steven.
But that's what I'm saying. There's so little to go off
Yeah.
of in this game that something that small, it's like you find clues in everything.
And that was a really good, what am I trying to say? I guess good point that she brought up about Steven that would have convinced me to vote for Steven if I was there, I think.
Yeah, I think that's why for a moment I was like, there might be a case against Steven here. Like, I was thinking to myself, Steven has had no screen time and he's about to get banished, poor guy. But I do think, obviously he didn't get banished this episode. I do think now though, like, he's unfortunately in the line of banishment in the next couple episodes.
He's a good one for the traitors to keep around.
He's gonna get banished for sure because even Dorinda 100% thinks Steven is and she's not gonna let that go. Also, Dorinda's so funny. She even said what we said last episode of like, I just thought it was a girls' weekend.
I love Dorinda. She's really growing on me again. I mean, she hasn't said a word this whole season, but we got a lot from her last episode, so
yeah, we'll see. But anyway, then Candiace starts going at Rob, and I think obviously her points she made were pretty weak. Like, she brought up
okay, do you think though, if Candiace had just agreed with everyone about Steven, do you think that's how the vote, like, could the votes have got persuaded that way, do you think?
I don't think so, because I think
that would have been an easy target for the traitors. And like, if Rob did really want to keep Candiace around, which obviously
their trust was broken.
Yeah, but I do think that would have been easy for them just to be like, okay, people think it's Steven, so let's kind of roll with that, instead of, yes, Candiace kind of bringing up Rob not out of nowhere, but like, it just kind of seemed unnecessary to me at this round table.
I think what happened is, I think there's a consensus before they go in. I think it's really hard to break that consensus at the round table unless there's like some crazy hard facts.
See, but there has been though, like, I feel like the name that they bring in to the round table is never the name they ended up voting out. Like, there was maybe once or twice, but a lot of the time, like, people's minds get completely changed at the round table. The last little while at least.
I think Candiace knew she was going home. And so I think people like are going to argue that, I mean, yeah, her points were not weak. Like, my biggest like disappointment of this whole episode is I wanted her to burn the castle down. I wanted her to leave like setting a bomb off. That's what I wanted from her, and she didn't. Like, she did obviously leave like little breadcrumbs, and like they weren't strong enough to persuade the table today, obviously. But I think what her mindset was at that table is she probably knew she was going home, like 90% sure.
Yeah.
And so instead of trying to persuade it to Steven, I think she was like, whatever, I'm just gonna throw my facts about Rob, leave that with them, and like if it's enough, it's enough. If that's what I think. I don't think she actually was trying to persuade people to Rob. I don't think she thought she had a chance in that.
Yeah.
But I do think she was like, you know what? If I'm going to leave, I'm taking Rob down with me, hopefully. And that's what I think she was trying to do without making it too obvious of her being like, I know Rob is a traitor. Like, she can't do that on her contract.
Yeah.
So she had to try to find some small things to be like, guys, like, maybe think about him.
Yeah.
Even though they were kind of weak.
I was expecting more fight for her at the end.
Me too. I wanted more. I wanted her to, like, I guess, be emotional.
I wanted more heat from her, but she did keep her cool at the round table, which I'm noticing a lot of people are doing. Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like last season people were like raising their voice, like fighting for themselves, like they'd do anything to stay, but these people are kind of just like,
well, I think that's the thing. It's like, I think Candiace and Rob both know. I think they both know. They're both smart in the sense that neither of them wanted to be the person that got heated.
Yeah.
Because even in the turret, that's what we saw, right? Like, Candiace was like, I'm not going to get emotional about this because that's not going to do me anything right now. Like, and that's the same way that Rob has been. And so, yeah, at the round table, they both were like that. They were like, I'm not going to be the one that gets heated because that never works out.
Yep.
So they both were keeping their composure. And that's why I think Candiace's, like, didn't go out with such of a bang, because she was like, no one's going to trust the person that's leaving, like, in this heated argument.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it was kind of like her arguments were definitely weak for Rob, because she had to like try to find something that was like tangible.
And I mean, I think it was Maura and Dorinda who both called out during their votes, it's kind of weird that you said Rob was a throwaway and now he's the one you're saying is the traitor. So I think that made Candiace's game look a little like it just was a little weak on her part.
Oh, totally.
That was not going to help her gameplay at all. And I honestly think that Rob might be in the clear after this. Like, people might just think like, you know what, she needed to throw a name under, so it was his, because there wasn't enough evidence to actually back up Rob, and the way she did it was just not strategic enough. Like, you're right, if she had mentioned last roundtable, not saying he was a throwaway, but saying she had some suspicion with him, it would have, I think, ended a lot differently, or at least people would still have Rob on their radar.
Yeah, that's why it's tough to say, because obviously we see like 5-second clips of what the next episode is going to be like. I do think there would have been more suspicion on Rob when she casted her vote last week, if she would have said, I'm actually just suspicious of him.
Yes.
And I think if she would have said that and then had this roundtable on left, like, I think people would have been like, interesting.
Yeah.
Her saying throwaway vote, I think, unfortunately gave Rob a little bit more credibility.
It did.
And like, that was her downfall and like her plan to kind of plant that seed. Again, I don't think Candiace was playing great, but I still love her.
Yeah.
And I don't think she had a chance this episode at all.
I don't think so either. And you're right, I think she knew she didn't the whole time.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, it's hard to say if Rob is in the clear, because like, from what we see, like in the 5 clips of people being like, there's no way it's Rob, like, who knows, that could be like 5 clips of people saying that, and then by the morning they're like, oh, maybe it is, we don't know. Like, it could totally be next episode being people being like, then who is it? And honestly, now that we're down to a really small group now, and everyone in that group believes each other are faithful. The only 2 people that I think are going to be like looked at as suspicious next are Steven and Johnny.
It's gotta be, I hate to say it, but it's gotta be a guy.
Well, it's gonna be Johnny, because Johnny, unfortunately, again, trusted Candiace. So there was many moments where he was sticking up for Candiace because he truly thought she was a faithful, unfortunately. Him obviously like bringing up Steven at the round table and then voting for Candiace.
Yeah, people were kind of shocked about that.
But the thing is, like, I think if he voted for anyone else, it would have been suspicious regardless. Unfortunately, he just, like, was so convinced that Candiace was faithful, and that's his downfall. So I do think Johnny, unfortunately, is probably the number 1 target next week, if not Steven. But the thing is, like, it does have to be a male. They're going to start going after males, but they're going to find out that neither of those people are traitors. And so I'm interested to see, like, I guess we can talk about the recruitment now, but Rob obviously recruits and he talks about his 3 options, I honestly thought he was going to pick Johnny at first.
I think so. Yeah, his recruitments were between Johnny, Steven,
Mark.
It's Mark and Eric.
No, it was John. It was not Steven. It was Mark, Eric, and Johnny.
Yeah.
No Steven.
No. No. But Steven probably would have been a good one to pick. I don't think so. Spoiler alert, he picks Eric. We see that right at the end.
Obviously, we know this. Unless you watched the whole episode besides the last 10 seconds. Spoiler.
I think that was a very poor decision on Rob's part.
I disagree.
Really?
Yeah, like, obviously, I'm not like, woohoo, best Team Rob fan ever, but I do think he actually made a smart move gameplay-wise, because if you, like, at first I thought he was going to pick Johnny, because I was like, Johnny's the most suspicious, and so if he picked Johnny, what would have happened is next episode, or maybe the one after that, people would have started going for Johnny.
Yeah.
They would have banished Johnny, because there's already suspicion on him. And then they would have been like, woohoo, we got the male traitor out, right? Like, that could have been a move of like, wow, we got the male traitor out. We don't have to be looking just at males anymore. That could have been a strategy. However, because Johnny is already suspicious, they might have been like, okay, well, there had to be a recruitment, and now we have to look at everybody, regardless of what's happened this whole game. That could have been bad for Rob, because then everyone's looking at everyone, and they can't think about the past, because they're like, it's just now, like, who's now a traitor?
Yeah.
So I think he probably thought that. Also, you don't really want to bring in someone that doesn't trust you, even if it would have been like, it would have just been Johnny versus Rob at that point.
No, that would not have been a good strong partnership at all.
I think Eric's a good move, but I do think, just because, like, I'm someone who believes patterns, I think Rob picked Eric because he wants to burn him. I do think he brought him in as a sacrifice.
Which is the only reason.
Which is gameplay. Yeah,
that was the only reason he brought him in. I think if he was actually looking for an alliance out of this, he would have picked someone like Mora, or like someone he was closer with, or Mark.
Yeah.
But no,
I don't think he would have ever picked Mora, though. Mora is, like, literally such a liability.
I know. Just Team Rob and Mora till the end.
But I would have loved to see Mora, like, shiver in her boots a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, I would like to see anxious, like that would have been great TV.
Like, exactly. So I think it would have been cool to see someone like that kind of as a traitor, because I don't think she would have been, to be honest, I don't think she would have been a strong traitor. I feel like she just would not be a good liar. Like,
terrible. I would love to see that.
Yeah. But Eric, I feel like Eric's very random. I don't think he hasn't been up for suspicion at all. So, like...
He has. I thought he was a little bit at the beginning.
Not really. So that's why I'm like, is this a dumb move on Rob's part that you literally picked someone that people are almost fully convinced is a faithful?
Or what I'm thinking it more was people after Candiace, like, everyone this episode was very much like, we have to start looking at people who we don't suspect.
Yeah.
Because everyone this whole season has been going big personalities, all our suspects. It's not been working out, right? And so this episode, everyone was like, that's kind of another reason Candiace was like, suspicious this episode, is because people were like, we need to look at the people we haven't thought of at all. And, like, Uno reverse our, like, mindset here. And I think people are onto that. People are very much like, we can't trust anybody.
Yep.
Everyone was so, like, as much as they were voting Candiace, I think we're shocked that it actually was her.
Yeah.
And so I think people are going to start looking at people they never would have suspected. And I think Eric is that person. Everybody loves Eric. Eric's the nice guy. Yep. Eric's, like, so innocent. And so if they're going to go with that headspace and they're going to go with that strategy, he's a good person to pick, because if they start going at Eric and they find out he's a traitor, Rob's in the clear.
Yep. I also think someone like Mark has a close alliance with Kristen. Someone like Johnny has a close alliance with Tara. Mm-hmm. Whereas Eric doesn't really have that, like, one person that he's, like, this with. So I think that also would benefit Rob, because he is in an alliance, but, like, not really. I feel like he's kind of just a floater right now.
Eric?
Yeah.
See, that's the thing is, again, I want to say yes, but we just haven't seen anything of the relationships.
From what I'm seeing, he seems like a floater.
I would like, ugh, I'm excited to see the dynamics now, and I'm excited to see who really trusts who. Like, we know Mark and Kristen for sure. You know, obviously like Tara and Johnny, Maura and Rob. Like we've seen a few, but I'm curious to see like the I don't know. I do think like I don't think there's many people left who would suspect Rob at all.
Most of everyone there
is like
Team Rob.
Oh, totally. 100%. So like again, I know I've been hard on Rob. I don't think his gameplay is bad. I do think he's been playing smart in like a gameplay standpoint for sure. Doesn't mean I have to like, just because it's gameplay though, doesn't mean I have to agree with everything. But I do think it's smart. I do think he's probably set himself up to potentially win. But who do you think, like obviously we don't see Eric accept, but for sure he's going to.
Well, yeah, either accept or die. Like obviously he doesn't want to go home yet. Yeah.
Do you think he would have?
But I feel like they have to do that because it can't, like, how many episodes are left? At least 4, 3?
I think 4, maybe 3.
They can't have a traitor going home next episode. Then what are they going to do? So I feel like this at least confirms that there's going to be at least 2 traitors because obviously Eric's not going to want to leave. He's going to play it out, see
but
what
do you
happens.
think he would have left because he was like, when he
I think if it was the option like to recruit where they can say no, I think Eric would have said no, but the fact that he's not given that option. Yeah. Because sometimes they are when they don't know.
But when he opened the letter, he was like, this is the traitor's handwriting. And he's like, it's Johnny. And I'm like,
there's no way Johnny has handwriting like that. I'm not convinced. That had Rob written all over it.
But do you think that if Johnny was the traitor, Eric would have accepted? Because I feel like when he saw that it was Rob, he was like, I think he was walking into it to be like, maybe say no. And then he saw that it was Rob and he was like, oh, Rob's my boy.
I think he's shocked and he's like, you know what? No, like, I never would have thought that this was you. Let's freaking do this together.
No, that's fair. Okay, I'm so interested though. Like, do you think Eric will be loyal to Rob? Like, do you think if Rob starts getting suspicious, Eric would?
I really hope that Eric stands up for himself and is his own person in this.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I hope he's like.
But I'm really nervous that Rob is just gonna whip him around like a little dog and.
He totally is.
And that's like probably what's gonna happen, which sucks because poor Eric, but I also don't think Eric's gonna be good at like being sneaky.
I know. I'm so excited to see it though. I think it's gonna be funny.
I'm really excited to see this dynamic.
He ate grass this episode.
I think people are gonna that was funny. He was funny in the photos. I think we saw more of his character, so I'm excited to actually see how he is as a traitor. But no, I think their partnership's going to either be really, really good or really, really bad, and I can't see it working out well, especially since obviously Eric's going to know, unless Rob is like sneaky with him, like let's go to the end together, but then behind his back is like obviously going to put him down.
I can't tell if he brought him in. I think he brought him in for pure strategy. I don't think he cares. I don't think he cares if Eric wins or not.
No.
He picked the right move for him, which again, that's what he's been doing this whole season, which is like, again, it's fine.
He's playing for himself.
He's playing for himself. I kind of hope that Eric I hope Eric wins. Just for the plot. For the plot.
It'd be awesome to see Eric outsmart Rob because nobody has.
Yeah, that would be a great twist because Rob's definitely been like running the house for sure.
Yeah,
and like we all love an underdog, and well, I mean everyone loves Rob actually, but that'd be a fun twist.
As much as I love Rob, I honestly would be a little disappointed if he won this by himself.
You mean like
he got to the end, he was the last traitor standing.
Do you think if it was oh my gosh, I'm curious if you think that, let's say him and Eric do make it to that like final bonfire, do you think he would turn on Eric in that moment and try to win by himself?
Based on what we've been seeing from Rob, yes.
Me too.
Yeah. I hate to say it, but yeah. And I don't think it's because of Eric. I think anyone there, he would have done that too.
Yeah.
Which kind of sucks, but I also don't think Eric's gonna make it that far. I'm sorry. I think
he's gonna crash or under pressure.
He is
for sure.
He's gonna be like a Brittany, like last season. Like Brittany was recruited one episode, and I think she left that night or like the day after.
I think they're gonna. Who do you think they're gonna murder? I think they're gonna murder Dorinda.
I think they're gonna murder, one of the girls.
Because Dorinda is like one of the only people that maybe doesn't trust Rob fully.
It's kind of like a random.
No one's gonna ever vote for her as the traitor because there's been 2 housewives now, so they're like,
it wouldn't be her. I think they would keep Natalie. They'd keep Maura. They'd maybe Tara.
I would love to see Maura turning on Rob.
I don't know if she would.
I know, but
I would love to see that, but I don't think she would.
No, she won't. But like, could you imagine she's the one that's like, guys, what if it's Rob?
Like she's that like determining vote at the table that sends him home. Iconic.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see. We'll see.
But yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I feel like we're getting a lot more gameplay now. We're gonna see a lot more strategy. We're seeing a lot more. Like, this is the part of the season where like people start losing their minds because no one knows who to trust anymore, because it gets intense. Like by the end, you're like, someone's been lying to me this entire time.
It probably makes you crazy.
Interesting. Speaking of that, sorry, like obviously Candiace went home last night, and which we didn't even really say, but anyway, she went home and she posted this photo of her, Lisa, and Rob.
Oh, I saw that.
It's like the most iconic photo ever. But she commented saying her caption was like, if I'm gonna go, like, may as well go big or something, right? And then Kristen comments on it. I took a screenshot so I can remember. She comments on Candiace's post saying, honestly though, watching it all play out on TV so many months later, I can confidently say I was rooting for you to win. So that's interesting.
That is interesting. Like rooting for Candiace?
Yeah. Like she's rooting for, like, as a viewer, was rooting for Candiace. So like that makes it seem to me like Rob potentially wins and is just like cuts everybody. You know, he like, I think people are like, obviously it's a game, it's a TV show. I get it. But again, people are allowed to feel things in a game. And like, I feel like people maybe are like, wow, it's crazy how well you lied to me. And that people are allowed to feel that. Like, even though it is a game, like it can mentally mess you up that someone's lying to your face. Even
if they're that good at it.
Yeah. Even if it is a game that's so mentally, it messes your brain, right? Yeah. Like even in season 1, a traitor wins. Like I know you didn't watch, but like her trusted allies made it all the way there with her, and like they were so shocked, right? Like, and that's valid. Like even if you're like, okay, respect, but you could still be like, wow, that's crazy. Like,
no,
you know, like
that
it's still.
Is. I also, I couldn't even imagine being the traitor in that situation. I'd feel so bad.
Oh God, I would feel terrible.
Oh my gosh, I'd feel awful. All these people having that much trust in me to bring me right to the end, and then being like.
So I'm interested to see, because again, I'm not like anti-Rob, I'm not team Rob, I'm just kind of neutral with Rob right now, but like I'm interested to see if that does get to him by the end. Like, I'm curious to see if he actually starts to feel bad, because right now he doesn't care. He does not care right now.
I don't think he's gonna feel bad. What's he gonna feel bad about, to be honest? I don't think he is. I hate to say it, but he's not playing with emotion. I know. So, and I don't think like he's gonna start bringing emotion into it. I think that's just kind of how he's playing and how it is, and we'll see if it benefits him. I don't know.
Again, I'm not saying you have to feel bad. Like you're. As a traitor, I totally even the traitor that won in, I guess I'm not going to tell you just in case you watch a traitor who wins in season 1. Like,
was it Kate?
I'm not going to tell you anything, but I really like the way she played. Like, even though obviously she had to lie to everyone, I don't think she ever like. I think she played in a way. Obviously, she did have to betray people, but she only ever betrayed people when she was like it was necessary. Like, she'd be the only vote who didn't vote or whatever it was, right? And so even though people were upset with her when she won, like the faithfuls that really trusted her, because they were like, that's insane, that like how could you do that? But I did see her position, because I was like, what's her option, right? Like, what's your option when you're a traitor? You have to lie. Like you either tell people you're a traitor or you lie. Like there's no other option. But I do think there's choices you can make as a traitor that, like, just because you have to lie doesn't mean you have to backstab everybody. Okay. But do you know what I mean? Like, she did have to lie. She had to do it.
Well, I'm curious to watch it now, because from the sounds of it, it's seeming like she's playing a similar game, or Rob's playing a similar game to her.
I think they're playing differently, personally.
But getting to the same spot.
Yeah, I think they'll end up in this. I think Rob could probably win, but I do think they played very differently, personally. But anyway, the season's getting better. This episode redeemed a lot of like.
This is my favorite part of the show where we just like get to know the people a lot more.
You get
and
to
like
see
their
people.
relationships, their dynamic.
Yeah.
So,
but anyway, let us know what you think in the comments.
Yeah.
Because we did get a lot of opinions last week in the comments, and I love it. I love a healthy, respectful discussion.
Yes, we love discussions.
Which we totally had last episode. So
yeah, shout out, shout out to our commenters. Please come back. We love to see it.
Okay, well, yeah, I think that's everything. Like, we could chat all day about this, but
that's a wrap until next week.
Until next week.
See what happens. Bye, everyone.
Bye.